What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages of the Page, and today is my first official video for the Pages of Chaos. Hello my loves, welcome to this video. Today is my first day of officially the Pages of Chaos. I unintentionally did this for the past week and a bit, where I'm intending on posting a video 3 times a week instead of 2, and this is throughout the entirety of December and all of January to set up for January and then review 2023. So I've put it under the Pages of Chaos because this is going to be chaotic. And today's video is going to be talking through my 2024 goals, which in and of themselves start off as chaotic as shit. Now, last year I had a lot of goals that didn't really work in tandem. And I feel like that's going to be the same with this year, but slightly different. Because I was so aware of it last year, there have been a few amendments to make it a little bit easier. Not all of these are going to overlap, and that's totally fine. I have also taken a little bit of a step back in terms of the amount of goals that I actively want to achieve and then things I would like to achieve. So I have a lot of goals, but there are ones that are really just the priorities, and then I would like to do these if I have time and it works for my reading. So I'm going to have this broken down into my reading goals and then my community challenges and then my side quests and then my channel goals. So I'm going to talk through all of these and I'll link anything that I reference down below. So there are a few challenges that haven't been announced at the time of filming this that I did last year that I would like to, and hope that they're doing again this year, but I'm not sure. So if any of this information becomes irrelevant, I will also adjust accordingly in the description box. But I am very excited to talk through all of the goals. So for this year I have 6 main reading goals. The first is to read 52 books, which is very manageable for me. I normally will stretch it to 75, 100 and so on, just depending on my reading for the year. And this year I didn't change my reading goal. I didn't up it as I went, I just kept it at the 52 books and it was really motivating. So I'm just gonna keep it at the 52 again. I know that I'll hit it and then I can just continue to see how far I exceed it. For my second goal, I previously used my big book jar and I wanted to read 2 big books a month. I've discovered that I actually don't enjoy big books often. I enjoy the content, but it's few and far between that a book over 500 pages becomes a new favorite. So for me, I'm wanting to change it and not need to worry about reading 500+ page books, but my goal is to aim for 60+% of my reading being over 300+ pages. I'll go into the stats review in January when I'm looking back at all my stats on 2023, but this seems interesting, especially knowing some of the other challenges I have. I will need to read some of the bigger books to counteract some of the smaller ones, but I'm very curious to see how I go with it, and I think that 60+% is a good place for it to be. So it's sort of just keeping an eye on that balance, and if I get to MAGPIE check-in or halfway through the year and it seems to be going okay, I always have the opportunity to up it and then deeply regret that choice later. My third goal is to finish or catch up on more series than I start. I want to try and start less than 20 series and try and cap it at 24 for 2024. But given the chaos that happened with another goal, I'm not sure how this is going to go. But I would actively like to try continuations of series rather than starting them unless they fulfill a particular goal. Where this overlap happens is the confliction. If I start more but I finish more, cool. I also think having the amount of ongoing series at the end of the year be under 20, then I'm super happy with that. So even if I start the series and then finish it in that year, cool, I'm happy. It's balancing itself out. So trying to finish more series than I start. My fourth goal is getting a bingo and or completing the life challenges for everyone on my Bookish Peeps Control My Life. So I will leave the video linked up above and down below. I had 10 friends pick a book series. We rolled a d6 to see how many books in that series I was reading next year, and they also selected a life thing for me to do. That is the chaos that I was referencing. I am starting quite a few new series, and originally I had calculated that 2 series I'm starting next year were going to be in this challenge that then weren't. I have now had extras added on that I had not calculated for. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it all plays out, but I'm excited to see where it all goes. And for this, my main goal is to get a bingo, but I would love to be able to do at least one thing from every person so no one's neglected. But I would highly recommend checking out the video because it was fucking chaos. And I can tell you, to fulfill my friends sections, which isn't even the 4 corners that I have done stuff for myself, I would need to read 38 books. I don't know what 2 of the squares out of my 4, what series are going to be involved in those either. So this is going to be great. I'm very excited. Chaos. But I would love to be able to get a bingo and do the life challenge. So that is what I'm aiming for this one. If you would like to join along, it is also linked down below. Then number 5 is in relation to my 2020 to 2023 book hauls. And these have 3 subsections. So the first is to keep on top of my book haul revisited series that I do, and I absolutely adore it. Starting off January strong, we only have 1 book, so I am running a giveaway for that. That will be closing on the 22nd. Who knows what dates are. So I'll also leave that down below if you would like to be able to enter. You just have to let me know what your favorite season was on that video. Telling me here is not going to do anything on that video. And yeah, I just want to keep on top of it. It means I'll be reading 12 books from my 2021 book haul because that's the year that we're looking back on, and I read 1 every month unless there isn't any, but I end up picking up other stuff to sort of balance it out. So if I can keep on top of it, awesome. Speaking on that, I want to read 35 books from across my 2020 to 2022 book hauls. So I've tentatively popped 8 books from 2020, 12 books from 2021, which book haul revisited will sort of counteract that, and then 15 for 2022 because I still have quite a few outstanding from that list. I don't have the full stats for what is going to be left because I'm filming this in December. I don't know what I will read, but I will go into full reviews for when I'm doing all my wrap up at the beginning of next year, which I'm so excited to just see how it all is. And then the last goal is I'm going to shoot myself in the foot with this. I can already feel it. I know this is a bad decision, but we're here. It is to read half of the remaining unread books on my 2023 book haul. Have we had Christmas yet? And I know what I'm getting from friends? No. Do I know that there are books I'm going to purchase and not get to read in December, and it is going to be a slightly bigger book haul than the rest of the year? Probably, most likely. Am I regretting setting it at half because I don't have a definitive number right this second? Yes. What I can tell is that I have 26 unread at the time of filming on the 9th of December. And I think I might have 1 or 2 more read by the end of December. But saying I don't get to them, I need to read 13 books from my 2023 book haul next year. Plus the 35, which is 48. And I had 38 books, so that's already 86 books. I make choices. They aren't good ones. And so that's my 2020 to 2023 book hauls goals. Then number 6 is actually looking at my book buying, and I am so proud of the number of books I've accumulated this year. I'm currently sitting at 56, but I estimate it probably will be around the 60-65 mark by the end of December. I just know that there's books that I'm going to want to read, but like I said, I currently have 26 unread, so I have read over half of them, and we shall see if that holds by the end of December. For my book buying for 2024, my budget is $1,200 for the year. I nowhere near hit that this year, and I don't think I'm going to get anywhere near close to that for the remainder of the year. So I want to lower it, but I don't know what to. So I'm just sticking at $100 a month leeway, and we'll see what happens. I suppose it gives me a little bit of grace if I do feel like going on a book buying spree in 2024, if I want to collect a lot of the different books that I am going to be reading that I don't own, or if I really enjoy them, then I can purchase them it gives me that freedom to not have to worry about it, but it's also like the impact of how much money that is finally sinking home. Then the game changer, which has never worked for me before, but it's been working beautifully this year, is to buy a book, to add to my physical TBR, I have to read 2 books off my shelves. I know a lot of people do this, it's 2 off to 1 on. It's not a new concept, but I had tried it before and it didn't work for me. I think I was just in a place of vivacious buying, and in 2023, it's been going really well. So I'm gonna hold that over again and pray that it works for 2024. But I have managed to significantly reduce my TBR through this process and I'm so happy with it. Then the third goal is to have 50% read to unread ratio by the end of the year. I panic about this all the time, so we will see. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, if I just buy books that I have read, sweet, that's not a problem. If I buy new to me books that I haven't read, she gets stressed thinking where that's gonna fall. So hopefully I'm not shooting myself in the foot, but I would love to be able to succeed with this goal again. And again, I'm just doing $1 to a jar for every 100 pages I read off my shelves. I had a lot of fun looking at this stat. I think it was in my Q3 check-in, and just realizing something about it. So I would like to continue just having that goal and keeping an eye on it, because I think it's really interesting seeing what the final pages I read versus how much I spend in a year. I'm gonna keep that there because I just have a lot of fun with it, but it's not something I actively work towards. Then I want to talk about my community challenges. So I have 6 that I want to actively participate in, and we'll see where I get with them. So the first is Bookstar Read-alongs, which is created by Danielle from Bukhara and Amy from A-Star Reads. I am a co-host and we are reading the Greenbone Saga and the Holly Jackson Good Girls Guide to Murder series throughout next year. So I obviously want to participate and I want to read the books. So it's pretty easy for me. It is a book club that I adore and I love our live shows, mid-month sprints. It's just a fantastic time. So I obviously wanted to put this on. I know it's achievable because I will read this shit. I just do. I love Bookstar. I want to contribute. The next community challenge is one that I participated in for this year, and I'm not sure how it's going to look for next year. Like, I've got the concepts of it, but I don't know the actual like execution and prompt drops and all of that. And that is Gerbitathon, which is created by Hannah from the Let And I'm really excited to see what they come up with and participate and just be in building my businesses and reading all the books. So I don't know how this is going to look, but I'm excited for it. This is a Sims based readathon and it's all themed around different aspects of The Sims. So this year we were aging up our Sims and reading prompts to fulfill their careers, skills and all of that, and it really pushed me out of my comfort zone for a lot of them. And 2024 is looking at building your own businesses, but I'm not sure what other aspects they're going to include because it is so creative. Hannah just is a mastermind of ideas. Then number 3 is Bookemon, which is created by Reading with Mab, and this is collecting Bookemon that they have drawn and created from them and the zoologists as well. And it's a really awesome community event. There is so much fun going on the Discord already, as we're doing a mini round in December in prep for January. And so I just want to collect them all. I don't know how I'm going to go with like the seasonal, the mythical, the monthly, all of that, because it is so many extra elements on top of the things that I already have to read, but I am planning on doing a live show. At the moment, we're tentatively looking at potentially the 17th of December, slightly after 5 p.m. AEDT. So if you would like to join and come prep for it, there'll be a few of us just trying to get our shit together. So then we have a list of things that we could potentially pull from. I'm going to be looking at all of the books my friends are getting me to read and sort of seeing where I can slot them in, and then any additionals, keeping a running tally of them so then I can add them if they fit for a seasonal or a monthly or anything like that. That's the plans for that, and I'm really excited to sort of deep dive into it. Number 4 is the Roadhouse Readathon 2024, which is created by Bookish Gems. This is on their Discord and it is elements of their favorite manga, I think their favorite manga, and prompts associated with that, and just going through and reading a book or a manga to fulfill that spot. You can opt out by reading or watching a volume of the manga itself instead of having to complete the specific prompt. So I'm curious because I would really like to watch some of the different animes and just sort of dip my toe in a little bit more, and the prompts look absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited to dive into this one as well. I think this will become more of a background one in the sense of I'm going to read a book and then see what it fits, rather than actively making a list of books I want to read for it. When we get to the halfway mark, then actually buckling down and looking at what's remaining and where I need to prioritize my reading to be able to fulfill the different things. Number 5 is Buzzwordathon, which is created by Books and Lala. I haven't seen an announcement video for the 2024 prompts yet. Fingers crossed it comes soon because I'm so excited. I had a lot of fun with it this year. I know that I held to not having to read it in the month that it was allocated, but I ended up following that anyway, so I'm very excited for next year's. I just really find the prompts get me thinking outside the box, and I appreciate it. And then number 6 is TBR Knockout, which is created by Completely Melanie. And again, I haven't seen an announcement for the 2024 prompts yet, if it's going ahead, but I'm really excited for it. There are 2 prompts every month, and they're just based off the different themes that Melanie wants to do for that. And I really enjoy it. They are pretty open prompts, so I've always managed to find something to be able to fulfill for each month, and I try and read off my shelves for those. But obviously I will make adjustments if I have nothing on my TBR that fits. So those are the community challenges that I've got so far. I now want to talk about the side quests before I talk about my channel goals. So I have both side quests for my reading and for the community challenges. So for my bookish goals, I really don't care if I don't get to these. It does not faze me in the slightest, but they're there, they're in my brain, so I put it down on paper. The first is to read one of my scratcher map. This is the same goal I've had every year, and anytime I manage to tick it off, it is a pure serotonin boost, because they are a lot of classics or older novels or ones that I'm just not overly interested in, so it is going out of my way to read it. But I have enjoyed a lot of the ones that I have read, so it's there. If I don't hit it, fine. If I do, I'm gonna get a massive serotonin boost. Number 2 is to read 6 non-fiction and or participate in non-fiction November to a higher level. I did see that a book Olive posted that this will be non-fiction November's last year with them in the spotlight, and the way that it has been run for the past 10 years. So this is the 10th year, and they just want to celebrate the growth that it's gone through and how much of a community event it's become. I didn't actually know that when writing this goal. I was just on a bit of a non-fiction kick and want to continue it for next year. So I've got this, and now I'm like more actively, oh, this might not be a side quest, this may be an actual, I'm going to highly focus on this during November. But we shall see, because there is also the Australian Readathon that I want to participate in, and I know I will be reading more fiction for that than non-fiction, but we'll see where it ends up. The third bookish side quest is to finish my rainbow shelf, which was the goal for this year. Funny that I may or may not have forgotten about it for this year, so we'll see where we go for next year. There really isn't that many left, and I'm excited for the ones that are. I just haven't picked them up yet, so we'll see where that gets. Again, I don't have the actual number of books remaining on it, because I am hoping to at least get to 1 or 2 more before the end of the year, but I know I won't finish it. And then my final bookish side quest is to read my 2022 extended self-destruct. So for my self-destructs, I get you to vote on the books that you would like me to keep even after the time is up. And so I have Teacher, The Gilded Wolves, and The Prison Healer, and I had been sitting on The Prison Healer and The Gilded Wolves because they were both starts in series, and I really wasn't trying to start more series. I'm still not trying to start more series next year, but we will see. So this is why it's in the side quest, because I don't mind if I don't do it, but I would also like to do it because I know a lot of my friends love both of those and they highly recommend it. With Teacher, that will really depend on my mental health. I don't know if I'm in a place to read it yet, but I know that it will be impactful when I do. So it's still there, it's sitting there, it's saying, hey, but I'm just not sure if it is the right time for me to pick it up. It might be next year, so that's why it's there as an option if I do end up getting to it. Then in terms of community side quests, I have the Orilium Adventure. I don't know if G is doing it again, which is why I've got it as a side quest, more because I'm not sure what is happening or if it's going to look different. And if it is different, I'm based off all of my other goals, I'm not sure if I'm going to have the capacity to be able to participate in it, just depending on how it goes. But if it's there and it happens, we shall see. And the next is Read Your Bookshelf by Chantal Reads Orte. I had so much fun doing it this year. I just know that with my reading, it is going to be chaotic as shit. And so I want to give myself the grace to not have to participate in all the things. But it is Arthur Conan Doyle versus L.M. Montgomery for the way that it's structured. And it's similar to the flow-on map. You have to stick to a path until there's the opportunity to swap. And I'm really fascinated by the structure and layout of it. It's just, I don't know if it's going to be feasible with my reading for this year. So it might be one that I look back on at the 6-month mark and go, have I actually checked off any of these at any point in my reading in a flow-on effect? And we shall see. Number 9 is the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge. I had given up on Pop Sugar. After seeing 2023's list, I was really disappointed with the prompts. I didn't feel motivated, and so I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to check it next year. Well, it came out and I checked it, and I really like the prompts. So I just think they finally nailed what I want my reading to look like. I would happily reuse this list every year just because it is so diverse. Some of them are very interesting and would be an absolute challenge to be able to find something that I'm interested in reading, but a lot of them are just ones that I want to be reading anyway. So I'm sort of in like, I don't care if I don't complete it, but I've got the list and I'll see where I get up to. And the last one is doing that A to Z challenge. So I attempted to do the A to Z challenge for author's surname for this year, and I think I have 6 letters left and there's no way I'm gonna get them, and I'm totally okay with that. But I just like keeping an eye on it throughout the year and seeing what I do come across. I don't know if this will be surname again or if it will be titles. I don't know, but I've got it there and I will keep an eye on it because it's just a lot of fun to go back through and be like, oh yeah, that fits to that and that and there. So that is my last community sort of side quest, and that's because I go through one of the Storygraph reading challenges. Whew! Those were my bookish and community goals, and I'm really excited for them. I think they are going to be fantastic. I know that they're going to be chaotic and not always overlap well, but we're here and we're going to give it a go. I am so very excited for just 2024. I feel really invigorated about it and passionate towards the year. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, and I'm okay with that. I've got a lot of interesting series to read and a lot of interesting prompts to fill, and I'm so here for it. Whew, she just had a coughing fit, so apologies. So, my channel goals. My first is to bring back Cluedo bi-monthly. So Ash and I have not revamped, but we have altered Cluedo. I will be doing a full walkthrough video coming soon. Then we will be playing it. The January-February Cluedo will be going up this month, and I'm so excited. Ash is a little bit more of an active present, and I'm really excited for it. I also have made it the bi-monthly, which so many booktubers did before giving up on their TBR games eventually. I just realized with all of the commitment things, I needed it to work in my favor. So I have added more prompts that are like, hit these goals. Amy's life prompt from the Bookish Peeps challenge will also fulfill and help with the curation of this list as well. But I'm so excited. I cannot wait to show you what Ash and I are doing. When playing an actual round of Cluedo, it's not that easy to follow. So hopefully doing this walkthrough will explain what it would look like for the games, because each bi-monthly round, I might title them seasons because I am looking at completing this every 6 months. So we'll see, but I'm very excited and I love Cluedo and I'm so excited to be bringing it back, and hopefully I will be able to not stress about trying to fit everything else into it, but still have it shape some of my reading. The next is I want to get back into live shows, and hopefully once a month minimum. So I can't make any promises, but if I'm just doing them with some form of, not consistency, but I'm doing them more, then yay. I got my new mic this year and it has been game changer in the way that I feel while doing a live. So I've got a wireless headset, I've got a mic, I don't have to be uncomfortable while streaming, and I love it. So I would love to get back into that. Ash and I also did have the idea of doing a chaos chat with Ash. So him and I would just be talking about something, and we're not really sure what the form of this would be looking at. It's not really a goal to start it, but would you be curious in seeing Ash and I just talk about random topics? Let me know. The third channel goal is to start doing some themed vlogs. So I'd like to do at least 3 throughout the year, and this is like bare minimum. I know my vlogs aren't good, they're long, I'm rambly, I'm too ADHD to make a coherent thought, and I have 0 aesthetics. There is not a single aesthetic bone in my body. So the monthly resets, all of that, I don't know how the fuck to film that and make it look good. I'm a chaotic mess. So vlogs, just take it that what you will. I will have a video going out that are some vlog ideas that I have floating around in my head, and I would love for you to be able to tell me what ones you would actually like to see. I would love to do my 1 week, 1 shelf again. I really want to do the swap my watch time for reading time. I'm scared because that's like 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours a day. So binge reading series, and then getting into doing one that's like daily walks with audiobooks, and sort of figuring out how I can do exercise whilst listening to an audiobook, because that was something I really struggled in November when I was trying to do my November and get my steps up and all of that. I couldn't listen to a lot of audiobooks. It needed to be a particular kind. So I'd like to experiment with that more and see what I can and what I can't listen to, because apparently I can't do the function with some of the books. Number 4 is find my groove with ideas and being involved with readathons and my friends' things. So for me, I found that this year I was really struggling with content ideas. I feel like I've done so much, but I've really done nothing, and the ones that I would want to do, I don't feel that I have the skill set to be able to do it, if that makes sense. The aesthetic vlogs, the monthly resets, all of that, I don't know how I could structure it in a way that would work for my channel, because I'm mad dash doing it either on the last day of the month, the first day of the month, or I'm binge watching YouTube to then, or finishing off my TBRs and not actually doing anything except just sitting and listening. So it's not really the kind of content that I could put on my channel, but because it would just be a fucking shit show. I mean, if you want to see it, I'm more than happy to do that, but I'd like to get back in the groove of the idea generation and sort of figuring that out. I can't believe that I'm posting 3 videos a week for the entirety of December and January, and then I have 2 videos a week for February, and then I got nothing. But it's a grand old time. I would just like to get into the groove and figure out ways of sourcing ideas, but making it my own. And then with my friends and readathons, I want to be involved in their read-alongs, in their readathons, and trying just to be a more active participant. I felt like this year I really dropped the ball on my buddy reads, and I'm so sorry. I got so overwhelmed. You will notice that is not a goal here, is more buddy reads. I can't commit. I read too quickly to have a meaningful conversation with people. But in terms of readathons, actively talking about them, giving recommendation videos, that sort of stuff, and figuring all of that out and being present. So that's where I'm leaning for that. Number 5 is to promote more channels. I want to do booktuber shout outs, whether that be high or low subscriber count. I just want to give you channels that I'm enjoying and hope that you can find someone new. I do find that I find a lot of channels through the readathon video, but I also just want to be finding it more organically as well. And then number 6 is utilize the readathon form for the readathon video. So I've created a readathon form to help condense the knowledge of readathons into one central place and collate these readathon videos, watch them, get a sense of what they are, the dates, the times, the co-hosts, and collate it all. If I can just promote it enough that people are just automatically finding out about it and putting it in, sweet. And then actually remembering to reference it when I film the readathon video, because she gets like that. But I've created it, it's there, and I am so excited. Well, that's it. Just a few goals. Nothing major. I knew when I was creating these little graphics that I have a lot of goals, but I feel like they will overlap more this year. Whereas the past 2 years, for the past 3 years really, my reading goals have not aligned with the actual things that I wanted to accomplish. So hopefully for 2024, it will be just so much smoother, and I'm really excited to prep for all the things and have all the ideas going and seeing where I succeed, where I fail, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. So let me know in the comments anything you want to let me know about 2024 goals. Are you setting any? Do you not? I do have a whole list of personal goals as well, which if you're interested, I can let you know. They're not a secret. But yeah, let me know what you're doing for yours if you are, or if you're just gonna go with the flow, have a grand old time, and just celebrate 2024 for what it is. So I can't believe we've started the Pages of Chaos series and setting up for 2024 and then rehashing 2023 when January finally rolls around. Oh my god, this is nuts. Let me know anything you want to let me know down below, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video.